Hi everyone, welcome back to this week's video, and if you're new here, welcome. Just going to be a short video this week. Not that I didn't do very much, I did quite a lot, I just didn't record any of it. As those of us who make videos while we garden know, sometimes recording yourself doing things and, you know, fiddling with the camera, rearranging the camera, etc., etc., it just eats up a lot of extra time. And when you're focused on getting a job done, sometimes it's just that. So just to kind of walk you through what happened this week, I started working on my perennial flower bed along my back fence. That's when I first bought the house, it was kind of like a raised bed almost, but it was full of bamboo, as I think I've mentioned before. And we used a backhoe to rip the bamboo out. But now it's kind of in parts of the bed it still was raised up from where it had been in those raised beds. So what I had decided I wanted to do was I was gonna kind of bank it a little bit, so it was gonna still be kind of like a hill. And so what I did on Monday was I ordered 9 yards of topsoil. That cost me a total of $490.98. So I spent $500 on topsoil. It was quite a lot of topsoil, and I logged off work early that day to help my dad because my dad came over to help me. We loaded up the wheelbarrow lots and lots of times and started dumping topsoil along there. We built it out really nice. By the end of the day, we didn't get the whole pile of dirt gone, but we definitely got at least half of it was honestly more than half of it was done. So he came over Tuesday and we put down more dirt as well. Monday, while we were building that out, I was digging up my bulbs and what I think are my perennial flowers. So once we built that up, Dad left, and I put all the bulbs that I had previously planted in. I also noticed that I mentioned that a couple weeks ago that I didn't think my black-eyed Susans, my anacissum, or my coneflower, I didn't think that any of those had survived the winter, because they looked dead as doornails. But I'm noticing there is new growth around the old stems of those plants that I, you know, cut back. So I think I think more survived than I thought. Yay, love that for me. I also did take the chives that I had growing in a pot on over by my house in my garage. I did put the chives in the ground too. So they now have a more permanent home. So fingers crossed that they like it there better than that pot. Otherwise, let me just think. I have so many iris bulbs in the ground right now. I had irises in the bed. There were irises in that bed. There were only irises and arborvitae and the stupid bamboo when I bought the house. And there were some irises there. They were lovely. And I divided those up in the fall. And my mom also divided up some of her iris bulbs and gave me some as well. Don't know. And I just kind of moved them around and stuff because I didn't want them drying out after I had dug them up. So I just put them back. They're gonna have to be moved, kind of, probably, where, you know, as I'm adding things to that bed. But I didn't realize how many iris bulbs I had. There were so many. And I think there's daylilies in there somewhere. I don't know which are the daylilies and which are the irises, except I have a sneaking suspicion. Well, I think I know what the irises are. I didn't realize that I didn't have that many daylilies. Well, to be fair, I don't care about daylilies. I hate daylilies. actually like truly just don't love them. I might, maybe that's a tangent for another day. I'll go on a tangent. One day when I don't have a lot to talk about, I will go on a tangent about why I hate daylilies, but also the fact that even though I hate them, I think that, like, the facetious part of me often says that they should be the Michigan State flower, even though I hate them. That has nothing to do with anything. So that's what's going on with the perennial bed in the back. Next week's, well, I don't know about next week. The next part of that project is I'm gonna have to order some mulch, in part to, you know, just cover it, suppress weeds and stuff. Right now it's naked dirt, and my neighbors don't take care of their yards, so their weeds wander into my yard, and it's the bane of my existence. So mulch, and that's next. I don't know what color mulch I'm gonna do. I don't know how much mulch is gonna cost. I don't even know how much mulch I'm gonna need. So that's next week's, or that's the next part of that project, the next milestone, I suppose, for the perennial bed. Also, just, you know, as time goes on, working on taking cuttings of existing plants I have, maybe propagating those so I can fill in spaces there. I also think I'm going to be putting in some arborvitae for height and interest as well, because I don't really like arborvitae, if I'm being honest, but I can see their, like, I understand, I see their merits, I just don't love them. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, don't really love arborvitae. Seedling update. Kind of basically same as last week. Not very, I don't say not very much progress, because I mean, what was it? But it was about a month ago that I even started sowing my seeds, and I've come, my stuff's come so far in a month. That's wonderful. I did pot up, I have some recycled paper pots from Botanical Interest. I did put a couple of my tomato seedlings in there, because there were the 2 Kellogg's breakfasts that I had in the 6 cell plugs still, that I was like, these need more room. And I also did the same with some of my with my cinnamon basil, because that was getting a little big for the 6 cell plugs too. I need to get a couple more big of, like, the bigger plastic pots. I just spent $500 on dirt. So something I have done and probably will continue doing too, just because I get a free newspaper delivered to my house every week by the city I live in. So what I've been doing is, after I read the newspaper, I just fold the newspaper up into newspaper pots, and I've been potting up some things into that. So that's everything there. Next week, I think my biggest thing for next week, getting my sweet peas and my broad beans out. I don't know if I can get them in the garden. I'm probably just gonna put them in a container and put the container by my garage. My soil is just a little too wet, a little too claggy right now, so I'll just put them in a pot by the garage for now. I don't know if I could then transplant them later or what. We'll find out. It's, you know, it's a learning experience. I learn by doing. So that's going to be probably at least top of the list for next week, getting those broad beans and those sweet peas taken care of. All right. I think that's it for this week. And I appreciate it if you've made it this far. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.